Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another fabulous Wednesday with Sports Nonsense and Whiskey, September 22nd. Hanging out with the fellas in the cave. SP, how you doing tonight?
You know, people keep hearing fabulous, and they're going to start thinking you're full of it, man. You know what I mean? You know
It's hump day.
It's hump, dude.
Hump day. Pinky, how you doing?
Zach. I'm having a great day, dude. I had CE all day.
Nice.
It
Those
was
are always
good.
good days, for sure.
It was good.
For those that don't know, it's continuing education. You get to sit around and just listen to some weird videos on different things.
I did ethics.
It's true.
Nice.
Yeah.
Zach, how you doing?
I'm good.
So you're going to stay with that. Okay. All right. Well, moving along.
Yeah. By the way, there's no better entity you would want than a corporation to tell you how to be ethical, right?
Right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's
Oh,
what
especially that corporation.
that's what I found. You know what I mean? Yeah. Just
Hey, whoa. In my area, we don't have those issues. So
right. Sure. Wink, wink. Nudge, nudge. You know what I mean?
I mean, you know, is it not a little slightly hypocritical to have Gronk doing your commercial and then tell a bunch of people they can't have what
I mean that's
you're offering?
So that whole thing has to do with them trying to remind some folks that it's still exclusive, which is fun, especially for me, because I tell people all day in my area that this is the one part of the company that you don't have to have military affiliation
Right.
to do business with us. So
Weird.
tell your friends and family. So yeah, that commercial, I like it because it's Gronk. I love Gronk. But then again, I tell people all the time, like, yeah, if you want life insurance or health insurance, you can talk to us. Now, if you don't have military affiliation, you can't
Do
do
what
the
we
other
say,
parts.
not what we do.
But
Look over here, not over
I
there.
mean, it's still a good company. They still treat people right. No,
All right. Moving on.
crickets over here. But
By the way, I was on the phone with attorneys and other stuff today, so that's how my day went.
Fun.
So just telling you that now.
Fun.
So
Okay. All right. Yeah. Everybody
Zach?
have a good weekend?
fishing.
Fishing.
had to go.
We're good.
Yeah.
Did you guys like camp too while you were out there?
Yeah, we camped. Camped in
Just
somewhere in the
hung out with your
mountains.
boys, drank beer and stuff.
Well, there's only two of us that went this time,
Oh, okay.
so there was a lot more fishing than drinking.
Okay. Which is fun because that's why you
They
went.
don't get to
right?
do as much circle as just back and forth jerking.
Yeah, that does happen sometimes.
It's a give and take, Caleb. It's a give and take, okay?
Is there a name for that? I ain't gonna get into it.
There's a few.
And the worst part is I was legit just gonna ask, did you take any pictures? And I'm like, no, this is a terrible follow up to this conversation.
Yeah.
You know we didn't take any
Don't ask
pictures.
that question
Yeah.
now.
Right.
Of course, I took pictures and video recorded and everything.
Yeah. All right.
I was wearing my GoPro.
Yeah, he's gonna make a name for himself. Nice. OnlyFans coming up.
Yeah, no. So I mean, it was good. It hasn't been good, like really good, in a couple of years. I feel like it's poached actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, because this is catch and release only where we go.
People aren't abiding by the rules, huh?
And there's just
Ruining it for everybody.
Or the fish are literally just going into shock and dying, like I keep saying.
they're not
Because
going
it's
to
the same ones getting caught over and over again.
No,
They're like, ooh, hook.
no. I mean, you got to think, dude. They lay hundreds of thousands of eggs.
Sure.
It's a natural stream, so there's tons of fish there, and you can tell they're getting bigger. There used to be some really big. I mean, like you can see them in the water, and they were like, okay, that's a 3-foot fish right there. Let's try to catch him, and you would spend all day trying to catch him.
It's kind of like Bigfoot, right? All of a sudden, when cameras get really good, pictures start not coming up.
Oh,
You know
I
what I
have
mean?
pictures. Would you like to see pictures of a 3-foot fish?
We'll get there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me
All I gotta do is unzip.
Is it next to the roller that you got tattooed on the back of your cow?
Got it. No, I would never get that. That's stupid. I have a net that has all my measurements on it for me.
Gotcha.
It seemed like a good idea, though. I'm just saying.
Yeah,
I keep telling him he should just get a tattoo on his calf.
That's literally what I just said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like agreeing. I said, I keep telling him he should
It's
do that.
Flashback humor, dude. That was like a year ago. I
No.
remember.
Caleb sent me that picture probably at least 4 years ago.
Oh.
At least.
Oh, I just meant, when he brought it up on the podcast
Oh.
last time. I don't forget, unlike some other people.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you what we talked about last week.
We know. We were trying to have a meeting. we picked that up.
Oh,
Good luck,
Yeah.
Zach.
good luck with Zach
luck.
over
Yeah.
here.
Yeah, I do what I do.
Right.
So our conversation last week about Wu-Tang did lead me to watch the first episode of the Wu-Tang show. A little slow.
It
starting
takes a
off.
second to get into
It's
it.
a little slow. And I think at first
That
since
looks photoshopped.
all the guys' names are their actual names, not their stage names.
It's huge.
A little bit tougher to follow along, but know.
So yeah, I mean, if you're a big Wu-Tang fan, that was kind of part of the fun of it, is as they're introducing people going, oh, that is, and then watching how he came into be. So it's cool. It's cool. I love it.
Was it kind of like Game of Thrones? You're just like trying to figure out, I don't know who you are and what do you mean and what is your
Did
house?
you listen to the stuff I sent you yet?
No.
Ah,
Did you send it to me?
nah, because you've heard it before.
No, it was hip hop.
Oh, you actually sent him music
yeah.
or just names of songs?
Yeah, what he needs to listen to
Or
if he's
list
gonna
or
have any idea if he likes Wu-Tang or not.
I remember one video. That's it. It was the one with like the bees.
Triumph.
Oh yeah. That was like literally the only video I've ever seen of Wu-Tang Clan.
Through the victory, the agony, defeat. Yes, that's
It's a great song.
Supposed to be a good song.
36 Chambers. Oh man, double album. That's back in the day when music had like the lyrics inside the covers, you know,
I
two
remember.
different CDs. Oh man,
Yeah.
What's a CD?
Yeah.
dude, that was a great album.
Right.
36 Chambers is all-time classic.
We used to listen to that while we played basketball, like just hang out and put that in and play some basketball, have some fun. It's good stuff. But yeah, TV shows, it's interesting. I guess we'll see how it goes. I mean, season 2 just started, I think.
5 episodes in already.
Yeah. So we'll get through season 1. I still got to catch up on Ted Lasso season 2. I haven't started it yet. I did start the first episode of C. Interesting as well.
Yeah. That one, yeah. You don't.
I'm not
you
sure yet.
You don't really want the kids around on that one either.
No.
We talked about that issue last week.
Yeah.
I do have that issue a little bit with my 10-year-old that'll kind of run up and down, but
Hey, that reminds me, Zach. I want to say it was like 2 weeks ago now. Finally told me he had watched a certain movie, and his response might surprise people.
do tell. Does he even remember this conversation?
Right. He's looking
He
at me
should.
like he's not sure.
He should.
So-
Yeah.
I remember it.
He
Yeah, I
should.
watched Suicide Squad.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Garbage, man. It was garbage. I thought it was worse than the first one.
What?
Whoa, you were way out of bounds
Yeah.
with that
I
one.
don't know what's wrong with you.
I don't know.
Now, I've
Come
heard
on.
people that have said it's not good.
The big giant,
I have not heard anybody say it's worse than the first one.
Yeah. Because
big
that's
giant
just,
starfish fucking everyone's face.
That
with
one's
little
really-
starfishes.
I said that is kind of weird. I agree with that. That part of it's weird. But the dialogue,
You
the
gotta
comedy,
love Zach's colorful way of allowing you to paint a picture in your own
right, in
mind.
case you weren't sure how it goes.
I'm sure everyone's gonna watch it. It's probably watched it by now.
That's probably true too.
I mean, hey, if you
I
haven't
haven't
watched
watched-
it by now, it's your fault.
It's true.
Yeah, it's been out what?
2 months?
It's been a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I did not enjoy it.
Okay.
Did you watch the first one again after that? I think you need
No,
to
I
cleanse
had
it.
enough for the day.
No,
The
I-
first one's real.
you,
The first one's just it's really
I
bad.
think you need to cleanse your palate. You know what I mean, and go back and taste it and be like, oh yeah, that's terrible. Yeah, there's no way. There's no way.
When I got done with it, I liked it. I'm excited for Peacemaker that'll come out in
Again, they
January.
are both perfect, like Saturday afternoon, non-sports season movies when you're just flipping through the channels and you're just trying to take naps. It's something you'll watch in between commercials or something else.
No, I'd watch coin flipping before I watched that again.
Ouch.
Whoa,
Disrespect, man.
really?
How dare you?
Well, I
Just
think
didn't enjoy
I'll,
it.
and in the future I'll just
Which is
ask
weird
for
because
your
I like
opinion
every
on
movie.
movies. We'll just cut them out.
Yeah. I think that's a
Yeah,
smart
you
choice,
do
for sure.
pretty much like all movies.
I just
Look, for entertaining purposes, again, not bad.
I mean, it was decent until
As
you
far
saw the
as
giant stuff.
being like an actually good movie and like the
The
premise and
starfish
everything
thing is weird. I
awful.
agree with you. It is.
James Gunn did not get an A on that one. He failed.
You know there are letters between that, right?
Oh no.
I'd give it a D-.
If you're not first, you're last kind of thing. Like
it's not
Okay, Ricky Bobby.
right.
second place,
His
first
dad-
place loser.
His
Like come
dad was drunk when he said that. You can't like. How are you still using that?
His dad was a loser too.
Because I believed all that before I ever saw that movie.
You know, it's a lot like the Bible. Why don't you quote the other part? Where he was like, "That's the stupidest thing I ever heard." There's second. There's third.
There are all those things, and if I'm competing for money, it's different.
Well, sure.
In this situation, it's not for money.
You did, I was gonna say in this fantasy.
It was
league,
for
you know all
my
about
sheer
that.
entertainment. You can't put a value on that, SP.
Anyways, I also saw a movie that. Have you heard of *Malignant*?
Yes.
I've heard of it.
Did you watch it?
No.
Okay.
It's
Is
a
that
horror
another
movie.
South Korea joint?
No, it was by James Wan. So the guy who did Saw.
I've never seen any of those, but okay.
Okay, the first one is definitely worth watching.
I know
First
you
one
guys
is-
have told me that.
First one was
yeah.
actually pretty good. Second one was okay, and after that, it just gets exponentially worse. Well, anyways,
like Fast and Furious.
yeah, actually, a lot like that. Turns in this money grab. So, anyways, with *Malignant*,
That was on HBO Max, right?
yeah. So you can probably go check it out. Anyways, so I watched the first 15 minutes of it, and I was just pissed off that I was watching any of it. And like, I legitimately turned it off. I was like, I'm not wasting my time. Like, I've already done too much. So this guy that I really like that does movie reviews, he does a review on it, right? And I'm like, cool, this guy's going to bash this. We're going to have a little thing. You know what I mean? We're both going to hate it. And he gets on there and he starts talking about how good the movie is. And I'm like, dude, you're on crack. There's no way. But then he starts talking about how I was like, oh, no, you have to get past the first 30 minutes because like there's this kind of twist and it starts going into a completely different direction. And I'm like, okay, I'll give you credit here. One, I didn't get to that 30-minute mark. You know what I mean? So I'm like, so maybe something's going to happen and I'm going to be like, all of a sudden it's a good movie. I'm like, that seems so unlikely. But what I did is I immediately turned off that review and I'm like, I'll go finish watching the movie, right? And that guy's a bastard because absolutely not. That movie was still terrible. So I went back and literally watched the entire thing. I'm like, what are you talking about, Chris? I'm like, what are you talking about? So I'm trying to do everyone a favor. Don't buy into it. Don't let anybody talk you into finishing it. It was bad. So bad.
I did watch Cry Macho on HBO Max.
That I was curious.
With Clint Eastwood.
Yeah. And?
It's good. I mean, it's just it's kind of a good story. The kid in the movie is cool. I really liked it. The problem I had is I don't know if it was an HBO Max thing, but sometimes there'd be subtitles because there's a lot of Spanish because they're in Mexico. Mm-hmm. Sometimes there'd be subtitles and sometimes there wouldn't.
Oh, weird.
So when people are having a conversation in Spanish, you're like, I don't know what's going on.
Sounds
right?
like that the dude doing the captioning was on a deadline.
So
they'll put that together.
I don't know, like if you see it in the movie theater, like it shows it all. But those moments, I was like, okay, I don't know what's going on. But other than that, it was good. The little rooster is hilarious.
Rooster?
Yeah,
Oh,
Macho. That's who's Macho. The kid has a pet like that does cockfighting. It's a rooster. It's called Macho.
Oh.
And Macho goes with him everywhere.
I didn't know any of this.
And by the time, like, the end of the movie, like, and I think Clint Eastwood, who's in his 90s, is meant to be, like, in his 60s in the movie.
And has been playing the same role for the last 40 years.
Yeah, pretty much.
But he's, like, they make it seem like he's in his 60s in the movie. And, of course, he doesn't like the rooster at the beginning, but by the end of the movie, kind of...
Yeah.
Oh, you mean like every
Goes on.
movie he's done for the last 40
one of those,
years?
Yeah.
It's a good movie. It's not a great movie.
I do like Clint Eastwood, though.
But I did like, the whole movie, the base of the movie is him teaching this kid who's been going down the wrong path how to be a good person, how to be a man.
Some bitch, like every movie he's done for the last 40. This guy is gold.
It's not his fault. He keeps.
This is actually funny thing about this story.
And guess what's gonna come next? Couple Academy Awards, and then he'll do it again in 4 years when he's
This is actually a
still
movie
above
that
ground.
was meant to be made like 10 years ago, and Arnold Schwarzenegger was attached to the lead role of who Clint Eastwood's playing.
Oh, that would have worked out perfectly.
And he was going to be
Eastern
him.
European telling a little Mexican boy how to behave.
Right. And it was going to be him until
Pinky's over here talking about how he missed some of
scandal
the subtitles.
came
Imagine
up.
the subtitles on that version.
And he got dropped out of production because of the scandal he was going through.
Arnold Schwarzenegger was in a scandal?
Yeah, he had a baby with one of his housekeepers.
Oh. Oh, that's what got you canceled back then?
Yeah.
Boy, things have changed. Yeah, things have changed a lot.
So, but decent movie if you're on HBO
Yeah.
Max, you need something to watch.
Did you guys watch Pig? Did you watch Pig?
I don't know
With
what that
Nicolas
is.
Cage?
No.
It's legitimately one of his best movies in the last 10 years.
I mean, that's not saying much in the last 10
It's
years.
saying a lot for him. Trust me. It's good. Check it out. I won't bore you with the details, but something you'd like to add, Caleb?
He's like, can we move on? I feel like that's what Caleb's saying. Can we move
Is
on?
that what that's saying? All right. Got that
Moving on.
RBF going.
Any other nonsense? Nothing? Silence. Okay, moving on.
All right.
UFC fights this weekend. It's been a little while, so we've had to be able to talk a little UFC. As Caleb mentioned off air, if you're not a UFC fight fan, you're not going to be you wouldn't know a lot about these people on the card.
You're not
If you
gonna
are
be
a fight
remotely
fan,
interested.
If you're a fight fan, you know who these guys are.
Ooh, let's hear some names.
So-
I mean, even that is a stretch, Pinky.
So the featherweight title bout, the main event,
Uh-huh.
is between Alexander Volkanovski, who's the champ, versus Brian Ortega. They just finished The Ultimate Fighter season 21 or whatever, and they were the coaches on the Ultimate Fighter, which is like their reality show.
Okay.
There's a very small crowd that still watches that.
I watched it. It was fun.
You watch
Sounds like one
everything.
out of 4 people, maybe.
It's on ESPN Plus. It's good. It's
not
something to watch, right?
If it's not on the Ocho, I ain't
If it's on the Ocho, you don't watch it. I get it. Valentina Shevchenko. I'm probably not saying that right, but Valentina.
That was solid.
Yeah. Valentina, she's the champ. She's what's her name? The Brazilian chick.
Yep.
Why can I not remember her
I
name
don't
now?
know. You're
I can't rember her name,
Yeah,
but
the champ.
they dominate. They beat every woman that steps in the ring with them. And she's a minus 1250. They're
okay.
expecting she's going to dominate. But she's fighting. Anytime the champ fights, that's a big deal. God damn it, Caleb.
I'm sorry, but it's not. I mean,
When a champ fights, it's a big deal. Because, again, we expect she's going to dominate, but what happens if she doesn't?
then it's a big deal. Just
Again,
because they're
but we-
fighting is not a big
But
deal.
we don't know that until they fight.
No, because here's the deal. If they win, it's not a story. So them fighting is not a big deal.
Oh. So if they get over there and get upset, right, and the other person takes
Then
them
it's
down,
a story.
you're
Then
like,
it's a
oh,
big deal. Now, if she was fighting somebody of clout,
But I enjoy watching her
it
fight
could also be a big deal.
because she dominates.
Yeah. So you get to see a human punch bag go in there, and
Right. I'm just saying, not every title fight is worth watching. Would that be fair to say?
I mean, I enjoy most of the champions. I enjoy watching them fight, even if they're fighting someone that maybe they're probably going to dominate. I still enjoy watching them fight.
Maybe boxing's jaded me too much to that.
That's like me saying I enjoy watching the Detroit Tigers play the Cleveland Indians.
I mean, you watch it.
If I have money on it.
well, there you go. There's probably
I'll watch it. That doesn't mean it's a good game.
Yeah.
I do understand what you're saying, Pinky. You like to appreciate what makes a
Right.
champion a champion, all right? You're like, let's go see what they
And
do.
in the fight game, it's a different level.
Yeah.
I can respect that.
Nick Diaz
Hey, finally, we.
is fighting Robbie Lawler. That's going to be a good fight. That's going to be fun.
So I think what we've learned so far is we are not big UFC people because that's the
Wait,
first name I've recognized.
Is
so
it
far.
though going to be
I think
these are two dudes
Robbie's going to win.
way past their prime? I'm tired of. This is what I'm tired about the fight game. This is what's starting to irritate the hell out of me. Is people are willing to pay for dudes who no longer can give you a good fight just because of the name.
Yeah, I mean,
And
that's
Dana
what,
White is no longer willing to put the actual talent in front of you to make these guys bigger names because he keeps taking these other fights that make him money off of already existing.
As long as the Diaz
not worth
brothers
it names.
want to step in and fight, they're going to get paid to fight.
Which sucks.
They typically they've in the past, and again, we're the past.
When was the last
put on a
time
good fight.
Nick fought?
Nick hasn't fought in a while.
was it
How long is a
2018?
while?
I don't have the numbers in
I
front
think
of me.
I think
Isn't it like 8 years?
It's
I
a
don't know if
while.
it's been that long.
Yes.
I thought it was 2018.
It's been a while for Nick. Nate was out for a while too. but
Nate was out for like 4, I think,
Yeah,
and then
4.
he's come back and had a couple since McGregor.
Nick coming in right in and fighting Robbie, that's a tough order. But again, they've got Robbie as negative 120, which doesn't mean he's favored by a lot. He's not negative 12.
Because they're two dudes who are past their prime.
I mean, I think Robbie Lawler's still like right on the edge of that prime. He's probably right past the prime. He's still a good fighter.
You know, I was wrong. It was 2015. And he fought Anderson
6
Silva.
years.
6 years.
Yeah. Fought Silva.
Got smoked.
It was a draw, but
Yeah. You sure? Did you pull up Nate or Nick?
Nick. Or were we looking at Nate?
No,
No,
look at
Nick.
Yeah, no. That is
Okay.
Nick.
I just
Yeah.
wanted to make sure.
And then did you just see what Silva did to Tito?
Oh man, he
Yeah.
laid him out. That was funny. Him like Tito putting those little rabbit punches in, and then all of a sudden, bam!
Well, I mean,
Pop.
what? Which Paul brother wants to fight Silva?
None, 0. Neither one wants to fight.
Not after watching that fight, they don't.
Well, you know,
because he's won 2 fights now.
we'd love to
boxing.
see it. Yeah. Well,
Because they went, oh, he can actually hit.
Yeah, they don't want to fight him. Like I think that would be a good money fight. Like they would
Sure.
probably make some good money. On
I'd
that.
watch that one.
Absolutely.
yeah.
I'd be like, yo, let's buy it. Let's do it. Like
Yeah.
I'll throw it.
Because
on.
I know I'm about to watch somebody get knocked off out.
Yeah. Absolutely. I'd pay money to see a Paul brother get destroyed.
Then we got Curtis Blades versus Rosenstruck. I'm not even going to try to say his first name. But just 2 big heavyweight dudes going at it. The heavyweight division right now is just guys that just like have hammers for fists, and if they lay that hammer on you, you're out. So that's
And
going
if
to be
they don't,
entertaining
it's
fight.
some of the most boring fights I've ever
It can be.
witnessed.
Yeah.
It can be.
Yeah, they're gassed
What
out.
you
by
what
the
you
end of the
want?
first
Yeah,
round.
you definitely
It's
want somebody to get
terrible.
knocked out in that first round. If it goes past the first,
And let's be
it's not gonna
honest.
be
I
great.
mean, let's be honest. They're not good fighters. Neither one of these dudes.
They're
because they
definitely not
can't
known for
really
their
move.
technicalities, yeah.
Compared to what Ngannou is, these
mean-
guys are like 3 levels below him. Not just next level below him. Not like just next tier and they
I
could
won't
maybe
go that
break
far.
in.
They're below him, yes, because Negreanu is very athletic.
Dude,
at
they're
his size,
significantly below him.
but I won't go that far.
Oh. Yes, because basically all these guys have is a big, hard stone fist. And if they don't hit you with that, they can't do anything else.
I mean, to be
Ngannou will
fair-
smoke all of them right now in the heavyweight division. There is not anybody in the heavyweight division that is anywhere close to his level. There's not.
I don't know. The
Which we haven't fought him in almost. We haven't seen him fight in 8 months. Like,
Because of stupid protocols.
and he spent a lot of time in Africa.
You know where he's from.
Supposed to be training in Vegas. That's the key to the fight game.
Just saying.
Well, that was.
And then the
more
last
informational.
fight, Jessica Andranch versus Cynthia Califalio. Andranch is a beast. She's real thick, and she just beats the crap out of women. So that should be fun.
Yeah, I didn't know any of those names.
It'll be a good time. We'll be at good company. You guys are welcome to come out, have some fun. If you're bored,
Fly out from Ireland. You know what I mean? Check it out.
When is this? Saturday?
Saturday night, yeah,
I'll be at Larry Walker bobblehead night.
fair enough.
What?
What?
He'll be at the Rockies game.
Yet again, supporting the Montforts. Way to go, Zach.
Dude, it's Larry Walker bobblehead night.
It's Larry Walker bobblehead night.
How do you think they keep getting people there somehow?
Because it's Larry Walker bobblehead night.
Yeah, God, I love giving them $50 a head to get a 30-cent bobblehead.
It's probably more
It's
like
nice.
$4.
I got a Iron Man Rocky's bobblehead that's really
You
nice.
two are just.
I got Star Wars, Charlie Blackman.
The principles are real strong with you two.
Dude, I collect bobbleheads. What the hell?
I do have that was on my desk.
It's not his
at
fault. They
work.
found his only weakness.
How did you guys find my desk at work? Right?
What?
How did you guys find my desk at work?
I asked a lot of people.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Normally, you just look for the toys.
Oh.
I had all the toys on my desk.
I mean,
That's
after
true.
I knew it was your desk.
Yeah. When you finally get there, you're like, oh yeah, that's definitely Pinky's place.
Don't know, stuff everywhere, toys all over the place. Yeah.
But normally they would look at us like, what are you doing up here, peasant? This is the 4th floor, and shoo us away.
Investments only up here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. We were definitely second-class citizens, especially coming from claims.
So, fight should
Oh,
be
yeah, you
fun.
guys were on the low.
Yeah.
For any fight fans, it should be a good night. I'm going to have some fun. You guys are welcome. Well, besides Zach.
Right.
If you two are, I know you'll probably be hanging out with your boy, which is cool. If you're bored, Aaron, come on out.
What
Good
boy?
company.
What boy am I hanging out with?
Your little man, Merrick.
Oh.
Yeah. Good job, dude.
Right?
Well, the way he said your boy, I thought he meant like.
He
Zach.
literally is
Yeah,
your boy.
Yeah, your boy.
I get it.
What do you
I
mean
get
by that?
You're a boy.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Doing great.
Silence again. What's going on, guys? We ready for some football?
Well, I mean,
Or you got anything else you want to bring up? Caleb?
not in this nonsense of realms. I think you should drop a little whiskey bomb here and let the people know what we
There
have
we
for the
go.
evening.
All right. So, and I did do a video. It's on YouTube, or it will be on YouTube by the time you guys are listening to this. I did bring in the Colorado Breckenridge Broncos Champions Blend whiskey, orange and blue. Trying them both out. I think I prefer the orange myself.
I'm pretty
I'm-
sure
yeah,
they're
I'm
the
pretty sure they're the
exact
same.
same thing, just different labels.
Did you taste
I mean, it literally says, which one do you like, orange or blue? Vote here.
Really?
Trick question.
It literally has it on the bottle.
I mean,
Vote
what's
here.
the difference then?
This,
Why don't?
the orange tastes sweeter to me? That's me.
Is that the one I'm drinking now?
Yeah.
You probably don't want to try the blue next then.
No, I'm a pass on that one, man.
Oh, this guy.
SP
Yeah.
still struggling.
He's
a
still
little
getting
bit with
his
some of
taste
these.
buds
Yeah.
for whiskey.
It's
So.
great. I cleaned like 4 of my paintbrushes. It was nice.
Man, that's cold, brother. At least you didn't drink some of this Jameson 12 year.
Yeah, no joke.
That's rough, bro.
All right.
It's supposed to be really good.
Starting to
That's
appreciate
a little rough.
that Sassenach a little bit more after this.
Sassenach's
So,
pretty good.
Yeah.
Sassenach's pretty good.
That
I've had a couple
JMO
people
12's
comment
not
on
bad
that.
either.
I mean, it's not horrible, but for a guy who's still working on his palate, he probably not gonna like it.
No, not it's no.
Go back to Bird Dog.
Like I have to let the ice melt that a little bit before I jump in there.
Like to thin that out and let it breathe, huh?
Just let it, yeah,
All
just
right,
a little
yeah.
bit.
Just
Just a little bit.
let it open up. Let the bouquet blossom a little bit. Yeah, I got you. All right, so yeah, we got our 2 fingers going. Everybody's enjoying themselves.
I remember now. Caleb did want to discuss a little college football.
Well, I mean, it was football, so I was just gonna if you jumped in the NFL, roll you back a little bit. But yes. Not so much exactly what's going on. I'll get into that next week or the week after. I haven't quite decided. I'm kind of letting some things play out. I think my initial theory might be coming true.
I'll throw one thing out. Parity right now is pretty good in college football.
That was my initial theory.
That's brought a lot. I think ratings are up right now.
Everybody
a
was
lot
trying
of
to say
teams-
Alabama was going to run away with it after week 1, 2, and now everybody's kind of pulling that rein back.
Yeah,
After the Florida game week 2, everybody's
like they're not
Pulling
as.
that back
I
now.
mean, they lost 5 NFL wide receivers. They've
well
lost,
after the way
a
they
bunch
beat
of running
Miami.
backs,
Everybody had them running away with it again.
I mean, Miami's not that good.
But we'll talk about that another week or two.
I should know Miami's not that good.
We'll talk about it another week or two. I want to see a couple things play out here in the next week. I might wait 2 more because there's one other thing I might be looking at to see how it plays out, and then we can really dive in because it'll be roughly the first quarter of the season's done.
Spencer
First
Rattler
third.
looking bad. Oregon looking good.
We'll get into it, Pinky, easy, because not all of those things are necessarily true per se.
Well, I've been betting on some of it, so I've been watching more of it. So,
Okay. All right.
although I'm not good at betting college football, I've learned at all.
He's like, listen here, I've been doing this. I haven't won, but I'm basically a pro.
Here's what I do
No,
want
but
to
I'm
discuss.
watching. That's
Right.
what I'm saying. I'm
I-
watching.
I think this is a topic you guys can zone in on a little bit with me here and still converse with, even though you don't necessarily watch it. Right now, I do believe we are going to witness in the process of, and it might be a little slow. It might happen out of nowhere real fast. Today might have been a deciding day for that. We are witnessing the death of college football as we know it. With Texas and Oklahoma jumping ship from the Big 12 to the SEC, other conferences looking to kind of build up or tear down from there. Pac-12, Big 10, ACC coming together and saying, we're all in cahoots and thinking the same way. Well, today then could have pulled any allegiances that there were all to pieces because there was a vote between a bunch of the big commissioners and the Notre Dame AD and some other guys on expanding the playoffs to 12 teams. The problem with this is there are too many different agendas in the hat right now, meaning people want guaranteed ins for conference champions. They want to be able to dictate who they're playing, how they're playing, when they're playing. The Rose Bowl is in jeopardy of not being a part of the championship, and the Big 10 and the Pac-12 want no part of that because that's like their granddaddy. There's a lot of things in the fire right now. And I don't, for one, see them agreeing to expand the playoffs to 12 teams, which is what has to happen for it to be anywhere close to what should be considered fair.
I think they're going to get there.
No.
I do. I
Not
think
the
they
way
will.
things currently stand.
Maybe not right away, but
And
they're going to get
so
there.
I believe what is going to happen here, and I'm not quite sure how it's going to go down just yet, but there's going to be a tipping point. It hasn't happened yet. It's going to, though, and I think it's going to happen soon, where you're going to see that formation of basically like that super league, minor league for the NFL that I was talking about earlier, where you're taking basically the top 5-ish teams, maybe 6, from each conference. And it might not be the best talented teams as it stands right now. It's going to be the best 5 that are going to have the clout to build the money with it that comes to form this. But the NCAA is already out with the NIL. They're done. They're dead. Nobody has to listen to anything they say anymore. The SEC basically running things the way they are right. That guy, the commissioner of the SEC, and I am drawing a blank on his name right now, so I apologize. He will be the commissioner of this new Super League. He will be the guy that ends up running it. He'll be the Roger Goodell of it. I already see that happening. So it's going to be interesting to see how this goes, but I think it's done. How do you guys feel about it? What are your initial thoughts?
Eh.
Okay.
I mean, I already said I think they will get to 12 teams, but obviously they're going to have to make some, concessions. They're going to have to work it out, which is always tough when you're talking about a bunch of people getting in a room and actually working something out.
I mean, like, why stop at 12? Why not?
I mean, you
make
got to
it
have
16?
you got to set a standard somewhere. I mean, if you say 16, I'm cool with that too. Like
16 will happen with the Super League that's going to form that I have in mind.
And why not really like 20 with 4 spots, basically wild cards. So you get your.
That's a lot of playoff games, dude.
One a week. Wow, I mean,
You put 20. I mean, that's a lot of playoff games.
You
the
can do 3 a
guy
day.
you were looking for was Greg Sankey.
Thank
He's the
you.
SEC
Yes.
commissioner.
I wanted to say Shanky, so Sankey. Thank you.
Sankey, yeah. I do see a lot of changes happening for college football.
You see, in the current format, they'll still be able to get to 12 before anything really changes.
I think they're going to as like self-preservation. Before they go to a Super League, which again, for the most part, we can all agree that makes the most sense. Like having a crappy team like Kansas in the Big 12, like playing Oklahoma or Texas. I know Texas is moving to the SEC, but having them play games against big teams makes no sense because they always suck. Like literally always suck. Kentucky. Same thing. They're in the SEC. They always suck. They're great at basketball. Their football program's garbage. We shouldn't have them. They have some NFL players that come through from time to time. Absolutely. Two of my favorites.
I mean,
come
so
from
is
there,
Kansas. As a whole, their programs have not been great. So I'm
Correct.
not.
But you're talking like they have some NFL talent, but the teams themselves
understand what you're
normally
saying.
don't compete, right? Colorado hasn't really competed much in the Pac-12 since they moved to the Pac-12, right? There'd be a
Colorado didn't compete in the.
I mean, they did a little bit for a while.
Their
then
one national championship is because they got 5 downs.
It is what it is.
See you get over yourselves.
I'm not saying they're great because they got that one. It is what it is. But they were a good program for a while until
They were good.
right around 2003-ish time frame, and then they've been garbage since. But why it makes sense to have these power programs that are getting all the talent, playing each other every week. I'd love that. That's perfect. Alabama playing Ohio State on a regular basis, and
Well, that's another
Auburn
like
and
this
Oregon.
bogus. I get to take a week off and play the Sisters of the
Right.
Poor and pay them $1 million to do it is like the dumbest thing I think is allowed.
which is beautiful for them because they get paid, but they're basically getting waxed. Like it's
it's
a
dumb.
game that's like shouldn't count for anybody, right? So, again, if you go to a Super League, totally cool with it. I just think for the time being, I think they will get to a point they'll be like, hey, maybe we can save this. We'll go to 12 teams, make everybody happy for a little bit.
I don't know anything about it. So,
Here's a question.
yeah.
Because I think this is another thing that has to be a tipping point for the Super League to form. It will be under the guise of the colleges, but they will not be student athletes. It will be a strict moneymaker separate from other athletics for those schools, I believe. It will be a professional team.
Which, in that case, why not just remove it from the schools altogether?
Which could...
Because the schools mean nothing at that point.
It could happen.
If they're not getting education, there's no reason for them to go to that school. So you might as well not even have that version of college football. Because you're not forcing those kids to go to school or take classes, so why should they be associated with a college?
Because the way I see it is it's...
Why don't we
There's
just have
still-
like the Colorado
My
Rough Riders and it's a separate semi-pro
perfect
team?
because semi-pro always sucks. You don't get the best talent that way. If you go that way, in my personal opinion, I think what would happen is the NFL would just lower their age limit and they'd bring in the best of that age and then see what happens.
But having them not have to go to college makes no sense to have college football.
here's what I think it would be. At least this is what I would like to see it be. You sell the opportunity to go to that school if you want to and get a degree, or you have to then take life type classes. You learn about finance. You still have a life coach. You're weight training. You're still doing certain things to learn how to be a citizen when and if football doesn't
That's
work.
still semi-pro. Like, you're an adult now.
Semi-pros aren't doing that.
Well, the problem I have with this is only maybe 10% of all the college football players make the pros.
No, it's like less than that.
Yeah, so
Like 4.
That's why I'm saying you give them one of two choices,
But why
what they want to do, and then you get to come play for this team.
I mean, a lot of players are walk-ons.
Well, I mean, you
So, like,
get,
what
I
would
think
you-
it's like 52
So,
scholarship
anybody-
athletes right now, and they carry like 150.
Most of the kids
so,
on a super team
Yes,
would not be walk-ons.
But I'm just saying,
Yes.
what about the kids with the walk? Like,
yes,
who
they
walk-
would be.
No, they wouldn't.
They
You're
have to-
only allowed like 52 scholarshiped athletes on your team, and they carry like 150 people. Like college rosters are crazy, Pinky. So yeah, a majority of what you have is not going to be a scholarshiped. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean they still don't have stars. There's plenty of dudes who are highly starred athletes who are still going to Alabama because it's Alabama. And they want that shot to play there rather than go play somewhere else because they think they're going to
I'm
go
just
pro.
saying, some of the kids that are going to college, yeah, they may be good at football and may be able to get a scholarship, but they want that scholarship more than actual football because they know they're not
Exactly.
they're not going to go to that next level. They're good enough to play on a college team, but they're not good enough to make the NFL.
Right. So those people have the opportunities to go to the school and get their degree. The ones that know they're going to go pro or whatever, you can just go get your life classes. You don't have to attend school.
So you're saying it's like an either or, like half
Exactly.
half the team could do this.
You have to pick one or the other.
I don't know if you have to pick one or the other. I mean, like, what if you wanted to do both? What if
That's what I would prefer to see for this particular
I
situation.
would see like the kids who aren't going to school, which is probably what a lot of people would pick. I'll take a couple life classes. That's fine. It's all BS. So
it's
whatever.
not just
But you're
life classes.
banking
There's
on
a
the
structured day.
While the other athletes are like really grinding through college courses and trying to train and trying to go to practices and do all this stuff. Like,
I almost think that makes you a better human being for life.
it teaches you how to grind.
Yeah.
Sure.
Well, I
Work
mean, you
hard.
still got to do that in the NFL. You still got to grind. Just because they're great doesn't mean they're not grinding.
I don't like that idea. I just don't.
I don't really like it either.
Why?
I just don't.
I just don't. It just doesn't.
If they don't have to actually go to college, then they should just be semi-pro. Just a whole separate league. You set up, they all get get a financial advisor right away. He teaches them the concepts of actual like finance.
They do that as rookies in the NFL, Pinky.
Well, they're not in the NFL yet. They're young adults. They're 18,
Right.
19 years old, making
But
thousands of dollars because they play on a team.
what semi-pro league has ever worked out?
Again, I don't like the idea, period. But if you were going to do that, the only way I think it works is if it's semi-pro, because you're basically saying these kids don't have to do anything.
Pinky, you realize they don't have to go to school now?
If
It's
they wanna-
legitimately not any different.
If they want to get drafted, they do.
No, they do not. If you talk to serious D1 athletes, the classes that they are required to
Correct.
take,
Most of them are taking BS classes. I agree.
that they don't even have to show up to. They're not going to school now, Pinky.
Then it's semi-pro. Just make it semi-pro.
That's what it is
Fine.
now. That's what I'm telling you. So I'm saying do it differently. Create it in such a way where they have two options. Both ways are still structured. One just says you believe you're going to not need this backup piece of paper. The other one says you like that idea, that backup piece of paper, that more traditional route. So what you want to do?
I still think that would.
And then
create
you still have the
turmoil in
schools.
the locker room.
I would think you'd have a lot
I'm
more.
busting my ass over here, and you just, you're.
Well, I think you'd have a
just
lot more
messing around.
failures than you would success.
The NIL isn't any different?
That's going to cause issues.
Hell no, it's not. It's not any different now, Pinky.
Trust me. When you're talking about the kids that are grinding, who may not be NFL worthy, but they're trying, they're going to have problems with the guys that are literally doing nothing, making thousands of dollars. It's going to happen, man.
What?
Money matters.
Pinky. Let me fill you in on something with college sports. They were already getting paid hundreds of thousands of dollars under the table. Now they just get to do it legitimately.
And make 5 times more.
The animosity isn't changing either. You still got treated differently than anybody else.
It's going to happen.
I don't think it's going to cause any issues as far as locker rooms are concerned. As far as college football dying, I think it's a big deal, and that was one of the tipping points. So we'll see what happens. But I think the vote today and then hearing how that news comes out here in the next couple of weeks is going to be very interesting because things are going to be changing here, and they're going to be changing in the near future. And when I say near future college football, I'm talking 5 to 10 years. I mean, Oklahoma and Texas can't even leave until like 2025, I think.
Which is ridiculous.
You
He's already voted to leave. Just let him
You
leave.
sign the contracts and everything. Big 12 schools still want their cut.
Shit, NCAA might not even be there in 2025.
It won't. That's kind of how I feel. So we'll see what happens. Keep your eyes out. Things are going to get interesting. I do plan on talking some legit college football things. Landscape's kind of starting to lay itself out.
Dan.
We'll be able to discuss some things. With that, I'll wrap up by saying it's going to be a fun season.
We shall
Things are
see.
getting
I like
real interesting already real
parody.
quick. And
I'm
having
a
the
fan
fans
of parody.
back in the stands for college football, those atmospheres are unmatched. It is amazing.
Definitely like to see it, man. It's already a huge difference with the NFL, so I can only imagine with college.
I'm pretty jealous. I got a buddy that's going to the Broncos game on Sunday, and I'm like, man, first game back. We're 2-0. Got fans in the stands. That's going to be fun. It's going to be a good time. I can only imagine, same thing with college, right? Getting the fans back, getting that atmosphere, having the fun. Like that's what it's all about.
It is. It's wonderful.
That's
It's
what
wonderful.
game day is about. We ready to roll?
Yeah. You can move into your NFL.
Your NFL.
My NFL.
Why-
It's
why is-
ours.
Why is he distancing himself?
We
from that?
share it.
No, it's because that's Pinky's always ready for NFL. Like,
I get excited. I do.
I mean, me too, but it's because I don't know anything about anything else. Like, and the stuff I do have, nobody cares about. Like, for example, Half Thor beat David Larrett in a boxing match.
Oh, that happened?
No, this is
not the one you're thinking
That's
of.
not a familiar.
Not the Eddie
name
Hall
to me.
one, but
yeah. So, because Eddie Hall, remember, he tore his bicep.
Yeah.
So David Larrett had to step in to take the fight. So you're like, great, some old arm wrestler had 8 weeks to prepare for a boxing match and lost. Didn't see that coming. You know what I mean? So
was it bad?
it was pretty rough. Yeah, it was TKO.
Did you watch it?
Yeah. It was a guy who doesn't know how to fight, literally being hit by one of the strongest guys in the world. So it went probably the way you thought it would go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This guy's literally throwing sledgehammers. It doesn't require any skill whatsoever because even if you block it, you're going to get hurt. You know what I mean?
At least the other guy got paid.
That's true. I'm sure, yeah. I mean, he's an arm wrestler. I can't imagine he's got a high net worth. So
Did he turn his hat backwards before the fight started?
no, so you know, Larry. That's so funny. No, it was not like the movies, but the ironic thing is he actually does that in his arm wrestling. So
Probably
that's-
why he lost the boxing
Yeah, that
match.
could have been
didn't-
it.
He didn't change that persona, and he's screwed.
I don't recall him boxing with a hat on, but
They do not allow a hat.
okay, yeah, but that'd be my guess.
Then he was doomed from the beginning.
Right.
But he got paid. Was it on pay-per-view?
It was kind of like a generic version of that. You know what I mean? Kind of like the same thing.
It
you've
was
been watching.
YouTube, but in between the O and the U, there was a dot.
Yeah. It was like, yeah. Exactly. Right.
Sometimes we call that an umlaut.
You're right.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, we all love football. I know you're kind of always waiting to get there.
I mean, it's a good topic. It is week 3 of the NFL season, which is so sad. Like when you think about it, you're like, man, we're already 3 weeks in. That means there's only, basically counting this week, there's 15 left. Then we'll be talking playoffs and Super Bowl, and it just goes so quick, just like the sands of time. We got a game tomorrow night, though.
We do.
Can't wait.
Panthers versus the Texans
I hope it's not bad.
with Davis
It's gonna be
Mills.
bad, man.
I hope it's bad for Houston.
It is bad for Houston.
I hope it's not bad viewing.
Well, seeing as things weren't good for Houston before the season even kicked off, yeah, losing Tyrod is definitely not a good thing either.
Spread is
So-
currently Panthers.
No, that is actually good for them.
I don't,
Because with Tyrod, he wins more games than they need him to.
correct. That's
Oh.
true.
That's true too. Yeah.
That's true. They need to be in the top for the best.
Tyrod getting hurt actually was like the best thing that could have happened to them at this point.
He was playing really well for them.
And technically, the other best thing that could happen right now is Davis Mills actually does show that he was that number 1 rated talent 3 years ago coming out of high school. And he's past his injuries, and he still has that talent. Now you already have a quarterback to replace Deshaun.
He was highly recruited out of high school.
number 1 rated quarterback.
Good to know. I didn't know that.
But couple knee injuries, things of that nature, basically didn't play at all in his time at Stanford.
He played his last year.
I think he only got 8.
He didn't
6
get many.
games.
Yeah.
6 games that last year, I think it was. Or maybe only 4. It was something stupid because of COVID year and everything. And he was out the whole year before that for
Texans
ACL.
made him as their first pick last year.
But talent-wise, he could be your franchise quarterback. So this could work out where they get to evaluate him too. And if he is, then it makes bumping Deshaun out even easier to swallow because you're never going to get what you want for him. You're not going to get anywhere close to what you're asking for him. And you're going to let him sit and rot and pay him is the
if his
dumbest
legal
thing ever.
troubles get cleared, they'll get a pretty good amount for him.
Not what they're asking. No way in hell.
They're never going to get what they're asking.
3 firsts
but
and 2 starters.
they're not going to get that. Not with a guy who had, even when he's cleared, it still happened. So they're not going to get that. But
Yeah, some things you just don't shake. You know what I mean?
we'll see. We'll see how that plays out. But Panthers are favored by 8 points. So
Actually, Pittsburgh Steelers might trade for him. They have no problems when it comes to
Miami
those things.
is the word.
They just don't have the capital to trade for him.
No, I'm just saying,
The word is Miami right now. They're just waiting for the legal troubles to
Yeah.
be done so they can offer up what they've got.
Philly. I mean, if Jalen Hurts were to bomb, Philly would be on the list. They've got 3. They might end up with 3 first-round picks this year.
I'm just
up.
saying the Steelers are a little bit more flexible when it comes to character.
Sure.
This is true.
Yeah.
So are the Chiefs, but
Yeah, you're right.
Which is odd coming
In
from
New
the
England.
Rooney family, who's known as such an outstanding, upright, always done by the books ownership.
Hey, winning a game is winning a game. you
Yeah.
know what
as long as they work hard, we don't mind if they have a little bit of issues.
I mean? Yeah.
I think Darnold throws for 2. I think CMC catches 1 and runs 1.
That's kind of what I was at, too. At least that's where my bets are at.
I believe they win by at least 14.
I was going to
Then,
say,
yeah, take that 8 points. Take it.
10.
10 points.
I think they score, a last useless touchdown to bring it closer than what the game really
What
is.
I'm honestly, maybe I'm hoping for this rather than actually seeing it, but what I do think is going to happen is you're going to see like a 35-10 game. And Carolina's going to look like they were prepared. Houston's going to look like Thursday night games 10 years ago when they first started, and everybody was like, this is the worst product you've ever thought about NFL, right? I feel like that's what we're going to see from Houston.
Thursday Night Football did not get good matchups this year. They did not.
I don't
it's
care
pretty
necessarily
bad
about the matchups. I last week's game was good.
Last week's game was better than we thought it should be. When you put the Giants and the Redskins together,
I mean, division rivalry game, the Giants have some offensive weapons. You're waiting to see what Washington can do on defense. I thought that was a good matchup. To have that division rivalry game on a Thursday night, I thought that was good.
I think that's generally a good idea.
Yeah,
to
I
do
think this
divisional
game,
games.
though, I think, when this was created, you're kind of hoping Deshaun's going to be there. Darnold's coming to a new team. You're going to see a high-powered offense is going at it.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, Houston didn't live up to their end of the deal.
Right. Yeah. It's not really their fault, but.
It's definitely Houston's fault, not the NFL's fault. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, good.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
When NFL was getting all this slapped together, it was tough to go into salvage mode afterward. But, I don't know. I think you're probably right. I think it's going to end up being basically a blowout. And
moving on.
Yeah, we spent way too much time on that game. Let's not do that
actually,
again.
it has nothing to do really with the game. But I was going to say, I'm sure you guys have heard talk, right, about Amazon trying to get was it Sunday Ticket? Did you see that? They're going to be bidding for it
Next year,
Yeah.
when it's open.
Direct
yeah.
TV deal.
So what do you guys think about that? Like, for example, if it becomes attacking either with Prime or, a smaller purchase incentive, that type of thing.
I mean,
You
if
think
it's
it's good?
attached to anybody with Prime membership, done. I already have it.
Right.
Yeah, I already have Prime.
Yeah.
I'm not paying extra for it anymore, though. Like, I'm just...
Well, wait. So
I
if
get
you're-
Red Zone for free, and that's enough to not have to pay for the actual package itself.
See, I don't know. That's the reason why I brought it up, because for me, who
I
never
l-
buys Sunday Ticket, if they charge me $10 a month for it, I'm like, I'm doing that.
If
what I mean? As a
I
Prime
live
member.
somewhere where the Denver Broncos weren't going to be the default game that I get to watch,
Right.
then I might end
So,
up with something like that. But
I've-
because it's not, I get to watch basically all the good parts of all the other games on Red Zone, and then my Broncos, I get the full game already.
Before I cut the cord, I had DirecTV and I had Sunday Ticket. And I would call like right before the season and they'd give it to me for half price, whatever. I loved it. I enjoy being able to find like that game I want to watch and being able to watch it. So I enjoyed it. And again, it came with Red Zone too. So I could be like, okay, this week I don't really care. I'll watch Red Zone. But if there was a game I really wanted to watch, I would just put it on that game.
There's always a game I really want to watch during those time slots, but not worth what it costs to have the
How much
extra
you paying for Red
package.
Zone?
I get it free.
For what?
Well, it's part of my sports package. So I get Red Zone. I've got the NBA. I've got the MLB. I've got the hockey. I've got
What is that
CBS
running?
Sport. It's like an extra $10 a month.
What?
Yeah.
Through who?
Comcast,
Xfinity.
Xfinity.
Okay.
$10 a month for all that?
I need to call.
There's
I
a
need
lot
to-
more than just that.
I need to call them up. I need that because I don't. I have like the basic Xfinity.
Yeah,
you
there's
can
a lot
get.
more than just that comes with it. But yes, that's
All right. Well, never mind. Well, in that case, it better be free with Prime. If you're getting all that for 10 bucks.
So, like it is not worth the cost of what it is to me.
I mean,
again, if I lived out of state and the Broncos were not the de facto game that I got to watch,
Yeah.
that's my team. I would probably do that
I-
because the honest to God reason I got the sports package is so I could get the Big Ten network so I could watch Nebraska every weekend.
I think the NFL Network or the NFL Sunday Ticket should be open to any platform that's out there.
The bid
I
for
don't
it just
like
like
it
Sunday
exclusive.
night
I don't
and
like it
Super
exclusive.
Bowl.
I want to be able to, if I want to watch it on Yahoo, if I want to watch it on Amazon, if I want to watch it on Fox or like whoever,
Yeah.
like I want them all to have access to it. It's however we want to absorb the content, right?
Sure.
But I know with exclusive deals, they make a lot of money. I get it.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's the thing about the NFL. They don't need to do that. They have no reason to offer that option.
Well,
Because you have the
right
NFL
after a year
Network
like last
already.
year, they'll be taking money. So.
You got the NFL Network already. You've got the Red Zone. The amount of content that they already provide free and then a bump up, then another bump up, then another. Like, they allow the tiers and they are raking in the money that way.
Sure.
If you cut one of those off, that money doesn't flow in as much.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it was a good chunk. 'Cause if I remember correctly, I think Amazon was offering $4.4 billion.
Yep.
So that's a good amount of money.
it's gonna be a good. It's gonna be
What
a
did
bidding war.
ESPN just pay for Monday night? It was close to 5, wasn't it?
It was a lot.
Oof.
Yeah, so Sunday night with NBC, they bid something similar. Like
AT&T lost a lot of money on the package, on the NFL Direct package.
Gotcha. All right. Sorry. Didn't mean to interrupt.
That's okay. It's good conversation.
all right, now let's start rolling through some games.
Buffalo Bills, Washington football team.
I think this is gonna be a game.
Bills. I don't think so. But
Line is 7.5
I
Bills.
got the Bills at 7.5. I'll take that line.
That's almost high enough for me to take the football team.
I think Heineke's gonna keep getting better.
actually, Heineke did look good. Can't lie about that.
He doesn't look phased,
No.
composed.
Yeah,
Said
yeah.
keep an eye out.
His throws aren't always accurate,
It's
but
his second start in
He's-
a legit situation.
But the thing that I'm giving him credit on is he is reading defenses, and that's always impressive when somebody comes from the back and they're like changing things up, calling blitzes. I was like, all right, this guy kind of knows what he's doing. That's good. to
I
hear.
think another week or two, and that offense is going to
it
start
is
rolling.
in Buffalo.
I think that offense will start rolling here soon. I think that defense will figure it out. I think Buffalo. I'm not going to say they figured it out last week. Miami did not look good.
I just think Buffalo's probably should be the more consistent team. I would take Buffalo in this game, but I don't know if I would do 7.5.
Yeah, I think that's a little bit large for me as well.
I wouldn't feel comfortable there.
Although Buffalo did look like they finally found a running game, which that could be scary if that offense finds a running game. Whew.
Colts Titans division game.
Carson Wentz has 2 sprained ankles from the same play. That's vicious.
that's interesting. Yeah.
You don't get that very often.
No.
No.
Like, you get that when you jump off your house. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I would love to
broken
know
legs.
where's JT.
Who?
Jonathan Taylor.
The way he ended the season, why did he not come out gangbusters?
He's missing in action right now.
Yeah.
That's the offense. I just don't get it.
Yeah. I think they forgot why they were winning.
I feel the same way. Now, the defense is still fire.
Yeah,
They might even
defense
be
is-
better this year.
Defense is still top
Just
5
first 2
right
weeks.
now.
I mean, sometimes it takes a team a little bit of time to find its identity. New quarterback. He's
Yeah.
banged up.
I mean,
like-
that's true. I mean, they probably came in thinking like, oh, we could really capitalize on, different passing schemes and things like that. Because
What
last
they
year,
should have been thinking was, we have the exact same offense that can burn people, but we have a quarterback who can make more plays now, so we can go downfield a little bit more. They should have been calling the same shit they were for Phillip Rivers for Carson Wentz.
Probably.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree with that.
I mean, yeah, but no, you're right. Jonathan Taylor is not looking great right now, which is pissing me off because I argued with a lot of people saying that I would take Taylor over Eckler. You guys are aware of this.
I still would.
So if that does, I have bets out, okay, active bets right now on which one finishes with better scrimmage yards. So all I know is Taylor better suck it up and start performing.
Well, right now you got to be pretty even still.
It's close, but Eckler is ahead. So
I think at the end of it, Taylor will get his.
I agree.
he
I
better.
agree.
He better.
Now on the other side, somebody called a big day from King Henry last weekend.
Yes,
and
sir.
That first half didn't look very solid.
No.
And then the second half, you're like, oh, yeah, I forgot this is what he does.
Yeah. Yeah. That guy doesn't have a gas tank. He's a Tesla,
Bulldozing
okay?
people and running away from him at the same time.
Yep.
Stupid crazy.
That was it. I was off by how many yards? 2 yards?
Yeah, it wasn't much.
Yeah.
It wasn't much.
I said Henry's going to lay down 160 on the Seahawks, and bam.
I think
160
Tennessee runs
plus.
away
Should've
with
put
this if
money on
Carson
that.
Wentz doesn't
I
play.
know. I didn't even
If
think
Carson
about it.
Wentz plays, I think it's a close game. Coin flip.
I still think Tennessee wins, but
Yeah, I think it will be. It'll be
I don't
closer.
know. I
than
think
it
I
should
take
be.
the Indy at 5.5.
it is 5.5.
Tennessee's projected to win by 5.5.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's gonna be a closer game than
It is in Tennessee, so you usually get 3 points at home.
Depends if Carson's playing or not. That's going to be the kicker.
That is true. But they'll go right back to what they're supposed to be doing and just hand the ball off to Taylor.
Well, yeah, you're going to have to if he's in that condition. You know what I mean?
Titans defense isn't
Yeah.
good.
When your quarterback has to roll up with, what's it called?
Walking boot,
Yeah.
crutches.
Yeah, exactly. He's going to be out there on his rascal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just slinging.
Yeah.
Segway.
They're not sure
He's
he's,
out there in his Segway reversing.
they're not sure that he's playing this
Nah,
weekend.
he,
yet.
he's probably not. I wouldn't think so, dude. Sprained ankles are rough.
So if you can get Tennessee Titans at 5.5 right now, before
Yeah,
name
before they announce
Eason,
he's not. Yeah.
looking good.
Oh, it would be good.
Good
All
enough.
right, next.
I got a big money bet on this one. Cardinals versus Jags.
Ouch.
Everybody on my Kyler train now?
7.
Kyler's looking good, bro.
Cardinals in 7.
I'll
Only
take-
7.
That's crazy. The way that defense is playing and the way Kyler and that offense are rolling, that's crazy.
I took 7 points, and I took
Didn't Lawrence just throw 4 interceptions?
2.
Oh, was it 2?
It was 2.
3
against
week
Broncos.
1, 2 week 2.
Oh, okay.
He's really trying to
He had
make Peyton
113
Manning.
yards,
Oh,
2 interceptions.
My bad. That was Zach Wilson.
Zach Wilson
threw
threw 4.
picks. Yeah,
He
that's
threw
right.
2 on his first 2 passes.
Ouch.
And again, I'll give credit to
We'll get there. Hang on. Don't get there yet.
the
The
second
Jags
interception
Cardinals.
Lawrence threw was a good play, but the defender played really well on that play.
Urban Meyer might ruin this dude's career.
I mean, Urban Meyer's not going to stick around long enough to do that, but
Yeah, he's gonna
he's going
get
to definitely ruin the first couple of years.
probably gonna get sick around week 10. So he'll be out. No worries.
Card's easy. Kyler's on the Kyler's number 1 on the MVP vote right now.
He's slinging. Dude's looking good.
I don't know. Dak's not doing too bad either.
Well,
Dak had a down game last week. They won. It was a down game.
that gameplay, they went into it, though, that they were going to run the ball down their throat, and that is exactly what they did with ease. I mean, the backup had 100
We'll get
yards
there.
rushing. So
Next.
The next would be Falcons Giants. This is one game you do not scroll over on Sunday Ticket. Just kind of bypass it.
I don't know. This is one I might be watching kind of heavily depending on fantasy.
Really?
Really?
Yeah.
You got a lot of
Really.
eggs in that basket?
I mean, you've
That's an
got
unfortunate basket if that's the case.
you've got Ridley, Mike Davis, or Cordarrelle Patterson are both fantasy relevant right now. Pitts is relevant. And then he's relevant. Okay.
Week 2 looked way better than week 1, that's for sure. All
Yeah,
right.
when you score 8 instead of 6, it's looking
Yeah,
up.
right. Well, hey, that's a 30% improvement.
Well, next week will be 10.
It's top
There we
15
go.
tight end, like
Hey.
relevant.
Right.
And then on the other side of the ball, I mean, there's
Hey.
reasons you would tune in.
Giants at home. They're getting 3 points.
That's generous, but
That's only because they're at home.
They're at home, yeah.
Yeah.
I think I like the Falcons in this game.
I do
yeah,
too.
I do.
I'll take
too.
Giants. I'll take Giants after watching that game last week. I will take the Giants.
You know, if Daniel Jones just runs the ball, things will be
Well,
good.
you know
man.
Daniel Jones only plays good against Washington.
He does have some good games against Washington.
Yeah.
He was
Kinda
4-0
good to
until last week.
Moving
All right,
on.
next.
Saints, Patriots in New England.
Okay, so can we finally say like Jameis Winston realized he was still Jameis Winston, and
I'm not going to say one way or the other.
I mean,
yet.
I just think it's the weapons around him.
that
Like they have literally every wide receiver not named Michael Thomas is
Yeah.
literally like
well
a
we're
fourth
I
wide
just
receiver.
think they have like bad circumstances. I mean, what they had half their coaches was out on COVID.
Yeah,
they don't have a home stadium to practice.
I think
in.
that was a bigger deal than people realize. When more than
I mean, you
half
don't
your
practice
coaching
in your
staff is
stadium
out.
to begin with,
Well, I mean, but they're not even practicing at home. They're not even.
they're
in.
not because they're away. Yeah.
I like the Saints in this game actually.
Saints plus 2.5. I don't like it. Not in New England. don't like it.
New England has this thing about abusing not great quarterbacks. You know what I mean? Ask Zach Wilson how that went. And
Well, this game will tell you a little bit more about Jameis. Did Sean Payton and Drew Brees really help work him out? And he's been able to do things, or is Bill Belichick just going to eat him alive?
I just think right now that the Saints just, besides Kamara, they don't really have any offensive weapons. They don't.
They don't have a single offensive weapon.
Right now, I mean, if you put any of these wide receivers on the Broncos, like they wouldn't even make the team right now.
it's true.
Like,
Yeah.
Or the Cowboys.
or the Cowboys. Cowboys, same thing. Like
Yeah,
they-
Cowboys
we
is
got-
unfair. All three of their wide
Or
receivers could probably be a
Cincinnati.
1 for most teams in the NFL. That's not fair.
True, but again, these guys are lower down.
I think you guys
That
are
he's throwing to.
extremely undervaluing the talent level that they're
I
there.
still think the Saints are a good team because they've got a good defense. They've got a good coach.
They got a good O line.
The O line is good. Like still a good team, but when you play a good defensive team like the Patriots, with
Just think if
what
they
they
would have
have,
kept Bridgewater.
I mean, they looked horrible against the Panthers.
Horrible.
Panthers?
Panthers aren't bad though.
They're
That's
not
the-
horrible, but they
I
scored
think
7
they're
points.
better than what you think they are, Pinky. So I think you're.
I think you'll have a much different opinion of them at week 10. You're going to be like, actually, they're pretty good.
And I think the Saints
that's-
are going to be right there with. I think that NFC South might be the best division in football.
I'm
this year,
taking
possibly.
Patriots.
Yeah, Patriots. I'm going with
Okay, well, I got
Patriots.
the Saints.
But then again, I wonder what's going to happen with Mac Jones
you
against
know-
that Saints defense. That's the
Zach?
only thing I'm
going to
scared
go
of.
with the Saints as well.
I got to go Patriots, even though I hate them.
Patriots. Patriots at home. I'm taking
Next,
Chargers, Chiefs.
Oof.
It's going to be a good game, I think.
I'm giving some credit to the Chargers defense because they're actually a lot better.
Anyone
than I
want to
thought
guess
they
the
were.
line? Anyone want to guess? It's in
6.5.
Kansas City. It is 6.5.
I've been looking at them all day, though. So
Oh, yeah.
So you didn't really guess. You knew, but yeah, 6.5 points.
I do not think this is going to be an easy game for KC.
I don't think.
I think
it's
I would
gonna be
take Chargers in the 6.5.
Yeah, I would take the Chargers.
yeah,
6.5.
I like that. I like that. I like
Herbert's
that.
still balling. Like
in
that
KC.
Cowboys game was close. Like
yeah. Well,
Derwin
that,
James is healthy. That D isn't playing bad. Mike Williams on offense gives him another
I
weapon.
mean, they're
with
not
Keenan
playing great
Allen.
against the run.
And then
But
Samuel Jr.
the
No.
Chiefs don't run the ball, so it's fine.
right. That was going to be my point. Where they do well is in their secondary and putting pressure.
Yep.
So
Yeah. It's gonna be a lot closer. I think
fun-
it's gonna be a high scoring
I'm
game.
pretty
31-24,
sure that's
somewhere
on
in there.
local TV because it's the 11 o'clock
Yeah.
game.
And I will
For
also
sure.
say this: so that Charger defense held Prescott to one of his worst games out of his last 18 that he's played.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's definitely to say something as well.
Okay, what do we got next?
Ravens, Lions.
Plus
Poor
9.
Lions.
In Detroit.
You know, if Lions only had to play half a game, I would say that they had a chance to win.
I'm surprised this is only plus 9.
Yeah.
To be honest with you.
Yo,
I mean, that's
le-
still high, though.
Legit, this is how I feel.
No, I mean,
The Ravens could go old school college option football, never throw a single pass in this game, and still win by 13 plus.
I think that's very likely.
I don't know. Their defense is banged up, though. I think Goff will score on this defense. I don't know about
Sure.
I think they'll
Yeah.
score, but I think
There's some.
they're not going to stop
so
Lamar and Marquise Brown.
the second
right
half of the
now.
49ers game, first half of the Green Bay game, that team played tough. That team, there's something there.
They're
Those
biting
coaches are
kneecaps,
doing
man.
something. They're doing something right. So
I like that quote, by the way.
9 is tough for me. I don't know, but
Yeah. I think that's.
it's a little.
I
That's
think
a little tough. But
No, I think 9's a good number.
I was gonna say I think that's fair because
Next.
the Ravens are gonna roll them.
this one's the interesting 11 o'clock game. Bears Browns.
What's interesting about it? Other than Justin Fields is playing.
Your
That's
boy
about it.
Justin Fields is playing.
Yeah.
And the Browns are going to roll.
Yeah.
Yeah. What is that
Sorry,
game? Plus
Justin, you get to
7?
play a good team
7.
your first week on short notice preparation because our coaching staff is dumb.
I'm gonna go in and probably take 3 for. I'm gonna do an alternate spread. I'll probably take 3 in the Browns.
Well,
Only 3?
I'll do only 3 with an under.
Dude, the Browns win by at least a
55.
touchdown, Pinky.
things happen, man. Baker's got his shoulder's a little banged up.
Didn't you see him throw that guy down with his left shoulder?
Yeah, that's why he hurt his shoulder.
It was non-throwing shoulder that's banged up, though. Who cares?
OBJ's going to be back too, right?
Landry's out,
Supposedly.
though.
Landry's out, though. That's a consistent
How
weapon.
long is Landry out?
Oh, a little while.
Is he?
Yeah.
They said
put him
week
on
to week right now, but
I thought they put him on IR
They did.
already.
They put him on IR. He's out at least
oh, he
3.
did go on IR. I missed that. Okay, I missed that.
So at least 3. Oh. Should be a fun game. See what Justin Fields has got. He's playing a tough defense week.
We all know I'm super stoked on the Justin Fields era, and Andy Dalton's never.
I'm going to be stoked on the Justin Fields era when he has a
Fields
good
is
coach.
Fields is going to look good. He's not going to look great, I don't think, but he's going to look good. People are going to go, how are you not playing him from day one after this game?
I think what's going to happen is right when Fields starts getting in the rhythm and start looking good, they're going to put Dalton back in because you're just that stupid. You know
I
what
could see
mean?
that happening from Nagy, actually.
Yeah. I think
Nagy's
that's what's gonna
bad.
happen.
We're gonna pull you in the second half.
This
I mean, let's be honest. What in your right mind last year made you think what you were seeing from Trubisky was worse than what you're going to get from Foles?
Well, and Trubisky would
Like-
have cost less than Dalton.
Yeah.
He took a $5 million deal. Like, you're paying Dalton 10. Like, you could have saved yourself some money there.
All I know is
Team would have been better probably.
Yeah.
Dalton's agent is a beast.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
all I can say.
Absolutely.
Props to him. All right.
Absolutely. Next.
I'm interested in this game. Steelers Bengals in Pittsburgh.
Joe Cool and the Bengals roll.
3 points.
Dude, I don't know. The Bengals look bad this last week. Even though they almost came back to win it, they did not look good.
I'll take the 3 by the Bengals.
To me, I want no part of this game.
Yeah.
I won't bet it at all. I
Same.
want no part of it.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm going to get.
Taking a huge
I could get really good Steelers and
Right.
Big Ben. I could get really good Bengals. Who knows?
I think if Najee Harris is going to look like really good, I think it's going to be this game.
Like that's the game. Like I'm pretty hands off. I don't want
I
to
don't
be
know.
part
We'll
of that.
see. Burrow just isn't getting it done.
I mean,
right
if the
now.
Raiders can beat the Steelers,
I don't think.
And
they,
they
Raiders
made
are
him
legit.
and they made him look bad.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I don't know.
I think it's gonna be a
Rough game.
competitive
Next.
game. It's divisional game.
That's true.
Dolphins traveling to Las Vegas.
Oh, I'll take that 4.
Take that 4 right now. Go on
right
and get
now
it.
before they change that.
It's negative 110. Go get it right now.
Yeah, the Raiders are going to smoke them.
Yeah.
I mean, that's almost double your money.
With
almost
Jacoby
guaranteed.
Brissett.
Yeah.
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 Actually, you know what? I might put I'll put money on it right now.
I'm doing it right now. Right now.
Right now. I got 20% profit boost too. So, boom, it's done. $100 on it. Oh, I can only do a $50 bet on it. Okay.
Well, if you take the 20% off, you can do 50.
Yeah, that's okay. I'll take this. I'll take some small wins here and there.
Yeah, that's a good bet. Definitely need to get on that.
Yeah.
With Jacoby Brissett, they're traveling to Vegas. I mean, Vegas looked pretty good to start the season last year. Not to say they won't finish better this year, but they've done this the last couple of years where they've looked good coming out of the gate.
They always look good the first 6 weeks,
You know.
and then they slowly start
So
to fall
we'll see.
apart.
But I've always thought Carr, if Carr's protected, he's a pretty good quarterback.
He is. Yeah.
He's definitely top 15 when he's protected.
I feel like I've heard you say he's trash on numerous occasions.
When he folds like a chair when not protected.
Yeah.
I've always had that take. When he is under pressure, he makes mistakes, which some quarterbacks will do.
Right.
When he's protected, though, and they actually give him time in the pocket, that dude can throw all over the yard.
I will say this. I'm absolutely stunned that offensive line does not look like absolute trash. For after what they did in the offseason, surprisingly, they're doing pretty good.
The Ravens' pass rush isn't top level at the moment, and the Steelers, T.J. Watt was out, Stephon Tuitt was out. Like Pittsburgh had some key guys on defense out.
Sure.
So that helped a little bit.
Yeah. Always does.
So everybody making bets over here. All right.
Got to get that at -4.
Got to get it, man.
Before it goes up, because you know it's not going to stay there once.
Oh, yeah. With Tua not playing, that line's moving. That's going to be 5 or 6 by the weekend. Tampa Bay traveling to L.A.
I'm upset because I really didn't want the Buccaneers to do well, and they're killing
They're
it.
just so good, man.
They're pretty good.
Offense, defense, they're a total team, man.
Yeah, they're
They're gonna be tough. And I could hate Brady when he was on the Patriots. I definitely hated Brady. I'm just enjoying watching the guy now.
Yeah,
Just sitting back as a football fan, just watching him. And him and Gronk, like, they make sweet love together on the field. Like, I mean, Gronk's got 4 touchdowns already. 4. I think he had 4 all of last year, and 2 of those were in the Super Bowl.
right. I mean, he's not cranking up the yards, but he's definitely getting the scores. So, I do think though this is the Bucs' first loss.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
I would not bet this game myself. Staying away from this one. I don't like it. It's really close. It's 1.5.
Ooh, yeah.
And it's
Tampa's
Bucks 1.5.
Bucks 1.5. Yeah. No, I do. I think the Rams win this one. I think they win it by 3.
I don't know. I mean, that's gonna be a great game.
It's fun. I'm sad that it's the 225 game. So, Seahawks Vikings.
Seahawks Vikings.
I'm gonna roll the Seahawks. What are they?
It's 1.5. Seahawks
Yeah,
in Minnesota.
Tell you what, better watch out because Dalvin Cook's gonna open up, dude.
Tell you what, you better watch out because DK Metcalf is going against Minnesota Vikings.
Nobody on the Vikings can cover anybody on the Seahawks right now.
Well,
Seahawks,
Stack
take
your
them.
Lockett, stack your.
Yeah, take Lockett and DK. You're gonna be fine.
Yeah.
I actually kind of like them repeating what Tennessee just did and the Vikings win.
They have no answer for a strong rusher. That's just it. But that being said, Seattle wins this game.
Packers Niners in San Francisco.
Oh boy, I don't know.
I'm gonna take the Packers. What are they? 3.5.
3.
You get the Packers and 3 points. The 49ers are favored by 3.
I'll take the Packers.
I think the Packers do win this.
I think I might put money on that one, plus
Yeah.
3. I'll take that.
Yeah, Packers.
Parlay it.
I'm going to do that right now.
Ooh, yeah.
Parlay it with. Well, you can't use your 20% profit boost if you do that.
Yeah, you can't use the 20%, but I can get it's 105, so you put 20% on that. That's going to be pretty good.
Or you could parlay it and you probably get like 250.
Could probably get close. Or you take the Packers straight up at plus 155 as well, if you believe in them. That's probably the way to go with the 20% boost. Straight up. Take the money line.
I don't know, man. The points are pretty good at 105.
I do like that, but if you get the bonus on it, they won't let me take the bonus. Maybe it's not loaded yet. All right. Packers. Monday night. Eagles, Cowboys.
Woo.
Division rivals. 3.5 points, Cowboys at home.
So when the Cowboys force 3 turnovers this game, then will you guys admit that the Cowboys defense is actually looking pretty good?
I don't know, man. The Chargers should have beat the shit out of.
They didn't though. All right.
Yeah, but they had what 3 touchdowns called back.
They did have quite a few. And you won on a last-second field goal. Like it was very close. Could have gone either way.
Sure. Just same with the Bucs game.
But
But does that not say that the defense is solid enough to stop a high-powered offense from rolling them?
the defense made some plays.
Both defenses actually made plays in that game.
Yeah.
But we already said San Diego healthy is a really good defense, top-tier defense in the league.
Yeah.
LA does have a good defense.
Now,
You're
I will
right.
say Dallas is dependent heavy on the turnover game. If they do not get those, I think they look like last year's defense or
I mean,
similar to. But
I would
they're
probably
pushing all
sell
the right.
out for those turnovers.
Dan
myself.
Quinn is pushing all the right buttons right now, and the talent is working for them.
Right.
So ride that as long as you can. If that's what you have to do, if you're gonna have some Tampa Bay games, that's fine as long as your defense is creating the opportunities for your offense to get back on the field. Then you can play that way.
Yeah. I obviously bias. I'm gonna go for the
I
Cowboys.
like the Cowboys.
Dallas and the points for me.
Take the 3.5.
It's in Dallas, right?
It is in Dallas.
So before we get to our favorite game of the week, I just laid down a sweet little parlay. Little 3-team. Nothing huge. But I went Green Bay and the points.
Okay.
+3 Green Bay. We think they're going to win. So
Yep.
took Green Bay in the
That
points.
sounds good.
I took Dallas 3.5.
Okay. I like it.
And I took the Raiders 4.
Yeah. How much did that pay?
Parlayed that up with a little 25 bet. 152.89.
I'll probably put down on that.
Yeah.
I'll probably go a little bit higher, but
I had a free bet sitting there waiting, so I just popped that on there
I get
real
you.
quick.
I
Said,
get
boop,
you.
boop, boop.
I got a $50 free bet sitting on Caesars that I'll probably use on that. I think that'll be a good way to go on that.
Figured that was a nice little.
I've already got Cardinals. I just put a bet on the Raiders.
I should have thrown the Cardinals in there on a 4-1.
Yeah,
That starts getting greedy, though. I didn't want to be greedy.
Cardinals. I took Cardinals at 6.5 and over 42.5 points.
Yeah.
Anyone have any thoughts on what the bet would have paid out if you said Aaron Jones was going to have 4 touchdowns?
Probably would have been a nice little.
I think
Little
it's just
weekend
plus,
trip.
I think if you do the +2 touchdowns, it would have been quite a bit.
pretty
It's
up
like
there.
4,000.
It would have been a nice little weekend trip for sure.
So I tried doing what a 16 team or 15 game parlay
Uh-huh.
would pay out if I did a $25 bet for this week.
Yeah.
12,000.
Oh, really?
Well, you're not picking the right parlay then, Pinky.
Well, you only get that when you pick the
Hey.
underdogs.
Hey, buddy.
Yeah.
I only picked like 2 underdogs in that bet. That's why.
Yeah, I know. All right, get
See,
us to the last game.
I just didn't want to throw the points. $1 makes me $5K.
Nice.
Wait, taking what?
All the points. Just who I like.
Just the spreads?
Yeah, just the spreads.
Nice. Okay. I like
On
that.
$1?
$1.
I'll
Just
throw
a
down
dollar?
on that.
Yeah.
I mean, I did every one,
Yeah.
but hey, you never know.
Yeah,
I'll do that.
that's-
For $1?
That's the right way to do it for $1.
Yeah.
Maybe
Actually,
I'll even
yeah.
my account. I think I got like 2. I'm like over a 10 by like $2.83. Maybe I'll do like a 2.83 center and.
There you go.
That's what I do on big parlays. It's like if I have change in there, I'll throw my change in there on a huge ass parlay. Because if you
Yeah.
hit, you're still gonna come out like with $1,000.
Yeah.
That's nice.
All right, give us the last game.
Broncos Jets. Mile high, baby.
Let's just be clear. Broncos big.
Yeah, I don't think you're going to have
Yeah.
10.
issues.
And the line moved. It's 10 now. It was 10.5.
It was 10.5.
It was 10.5. It moved down to 10.
Broncos big. Like
So
17.
somebody
big.
out there was putting money on the Jets to bring it down to 10. But
Yeah, like 17 big.
Yeah.
I mean, that's almost one where I'd say first touchdown scored by the Broncos defense.
Yeah. Yeah.
Probably
Yeah.
pays huge.
Strip sack, baby. 6.
More like pick 6. That seems more like Zach Wilson's MO. But,
I mean, that O-line's beat up right now.
yeah.
Mekhi Becton's not playing.
Becton's out.
Yeah, that O-line's beat up.
Poor Jets.
This should be a pretty good. It's good for the Jets. Keep that draft position high. That's what you need when you're rebuilding your team. That's what.
Yeah,
you need.
Darnold ruined him last year.
Yeah. Actually trying to play him and Crowder. Yeah.
Won a couple games. Darn those guys.
1 game, right?
No, they won
Or was it
2
2?
or 3. Because they ended up third pick. Jacksonville had 1 win. They had the first pick.
I thought they were the second pick.
No, Jacksonville was number 1.
I know. I thought
Oh.
the Jets were the second pick.
Oh, Jets were. I'm sorry. Jets were 2. San Francisco traded up to 3. Sorry. My bad.
So, yeah, Zach Wilson's going to have another rough outing against really good defense. Broncos roll. End of story.
Gotcha. All right.
Let's roll into a little fantasy this week. Let's go sit in Zach's corner and enjoy some time.
Zach's corner. I like Zach's corner.
Ooh, Zach's corner is.
Well, I think we all kind of decided we're going to do a little more generality on fantasy as opposed to specific DFS, right?
I mean,
Or are we going to?
I don't know. In my opinion, DFS is just a little too rough, man.
It's hit or
Like,
miss. I mean,
yeah.
you really have to have a lot of time.
What people have to understand about that is there are bots setting lineups, and people are throwing $1,000 and they're doing their max entries on $3 games. So it's going to be really hard to win when that person has every single option
And that's
available.
the reason why when we first started this, I say always do single entries.
right?
Yeah.
You know, your double ups.
Yeah,
That's the way you're going to make
those
money
are a
with
lot
these.
less available these days.
Well, they're available, but it's like $2, so you win 4.
See, but for me personally, at this point, I'm like, I'd rather drop $5 on a 9, pick parlay in game. You know what I mean?
Yeah. We're
I mean,
moving a little bit more towards that less DFS, but we still love our fantasy. So
Yeah.
with that being said, I think we could start with a little
Why don't we just talk about who we like?
King of the Night action.
I mean, I love Derek Carr this week.
Well,
against
I
the
was thinking
Dolphins.
more Vampire start off.
Oh, Vampire. Okay. Yeah.
I'm
We're
not
talking
sure how
about
Derek Carr
Vampire
got King of the
League.
Night, but
For any new listeners out there, we run a fantasy football league that is a vampire league where you do a draft with it's 10-team league. 9 teams get to draft. The vampire does not. Vampire has to pick up guys off of waivers to complete his team. And then he gets to pick his opponent every week. And if he does beat you, he gets to steal one of your players. He gets to suck one of your players off your squad that you started for one of his starters.
Is that the best verbiage? You have to suck off one of your players.
Maybe not. But we were trying to, vampire lingo, right?
Sure.
Sucks blood, sucks a player,
Right.
right? It works.
Gotcha. So,
And this week, Caleb,
yep.
who's the vampire since he won the league last year,
Yep.
thank you.
he picked his opponent for week 2, which he happened to pick Aaron, our producer, and beat him by 3 points, I believe.
Yeah, that's because Prescott just decided not to do anything
So
at all.
He
Or
gets
your
to take a
receivers.
player.
Yeah, that's true. Ayuk sucks.
He does suck.
So who are you going to steal there, Vamp?
So, went back and forth. Running backs are a little hard to come by.
Wait. Should we bet on this real quick? Secretly amongst us 3?
No.
Come on now. We know you like to bet.
Actually, I had a buddy who's a big Raiders fan that sent me a message like, hey, man, Broncos play Raiders October 17th. Bet me 100 on the game. I was like, bro, I'll be in an airport traveling home. Like, I don't even know if I'll be able to watch the game. That's a no from me. Sorry, man.
Well, let's see what you got, man. I knew it was going to suck.
So you're no betting, just continue.
Yeah.
Okay. Went back and forth. Running backs are real hard to come by. I do have Elijah Mitchell and I do have Taysom Williams.
Not awful, but
Not terrible.
Not great.
It's a little worrisome. Could both be starters. Could not be. SP's got Najee. Feel like with the way Ben started the year and what they really know they need to do to be more competitive, I think Najee only gets better throughout the season. Really like Najee. But you scroll down a little bit further, and he's got my boy CD sitting there in one of his flex spots. And
Cold. That's cold-blooded.
Giving him one of those 2 running backs for Najee almost seems like an even trade. Whereas if I get my boy CD, who I believe, along with SP, we've been talking him up all season, and we both know how I feel about him for the last 2 years now. He's going to be a top 5 receiver this year. That's really hard to pass on, especially when I could hand him over Jacoby Myers.
Yeah, that's a fair trade.
So
It's about fair.
it's going to be Jacoby Myers for CeeDee Lamb.
Great.
Ooh, that's tough.
Yeah, and it's worse that he has to beat me to death with my own player that I root for every week. That's the worst part.
That's
It's
so
insult,
cold-blooded.
insult to injury for sure.
Man.
Yeah.
Who's your opponent this week?
I got 3 people on the list, and I'm still really.
You're supposed to have this done by Wednesday.
Yeah.
Today's Wednesday.
Yeah.
I still have today. I'm still within Wednesday.
Pinky will be up till 10 o'clock. You have till 10 o'clock.
Zach's on the list this week. SP's on the list this week again.
And you could only go back to back once, though, right?
I
So
can
he
only
can only
play
play you
somebody
twice.
So I play you twice, yeah.
Gotcha.
There's only a handful of dudes who that could happen with. So,
That'd be even worse. Prescott's going to be throwing him up to Lamb and be like, stop.
our other 2 guys are on the list.
And then he'll take Prescott from me, too, right afterwards.
Along with a listener, buddy that Zach and I play in another league with. Boy Cody, Beast Chewy, he is also on the list. I will know by this evening when I sit down and dissect it one more time and see how my gut's feeling again, and then I'll give you your call. But
My gut's telling me you should play me.
those are the 3.
I
Those
mean,
are
I'm
the 3 I'm
playing
looking
you,
at.
and we're dead even.
I know
We're looking
dead.
good.
So we'll see. The Vamp will make his announcement when he's ready. But yeah,
Before 10 o'clock.
CD's off the board.
Yeah, that's exactly who we said you were going to take too.
I mean, it's hard not to.
We said Prescott at first. We're like, but Jalen Hurts is top 10 right now, so,
Right. So then we're
Lamb
like,
or
nah, that's gonna
Jefferson
be
makes
Lamb.
more sense.
Yeah,
Lamb being the best of the two right now.
pisses me off.
That's a tough one, buddy.
Yeah, that's a tough one. I mean,
At least last year when I lost the game, I gave up Barkley and then he got hurt the next week. So I was more than happy to do that.
He can't want that to happen
No.
because then his boys are hurting too.
Yeah.
So it's a lose-lose here for him.
Yeah, can't do it. Oh well.
plus I have CD Lamb in every other league.
Right. Yeah.
See, I went the other way. I went Jerry Jeudy in every league, and
Yeah.
of course he got hurt.
Right.
I've got some
They did
lamb
that last
stock.
year with Sutton.
Got some lamb stock, so it was hard to pass up. So that's where we're headed.
What did Sutton pop off to, by the way?
Last week
He
you
had a good
did.
game. He had a good game.
Yep.
I think it's going to be a different guy every week with that offense right now, but we'll see.
I think it's going to be Sutton and someone else.
Van's been consistent, basically 2 games back-to-back exactly the same. Hamler hasn't really showed up. Patrick's looking good. Sutton, obviously. I think it's going to be a 2-headed beast all season at running back. And if Javonte Williams shows he can handle it, then Gordon will be gone after this season. But I think it's going to be split carries the rest of the way. Fantasy-wise, I think you're going to be a crapshoot every week of who pops off in that offense. I think you're going to have solid, consistent contributors. I think the floors are very high. But I think the ceilings are going to fluctuate for the guys every week on that team.
That just makes me so sad just sending CeeDee Lamb over to his team.
Oh, you had to do it here, right now, in front of me.
It's done. It's done.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I'd probably play you again this week too.
And he will be taking Najee.
Yeah.
Matchups, man. Matchups where you guys are looking.
You know what?
it's-
You know what screwed you? The Julio touchdown. Julio gets that touchdown, you win.
Well, it wasn't just that. It was also Ayuk still sucking balls, and Prescott decided not to do anything. He's just going to take the week off. Yeah, it was a couple of things.
We got to talk about Ayuk. Back-to-back zeros.
Yeah, what is
He
that?
got 2 points.
Oh,
I'll say it
bad.
again. I'll take Philly's receiving core over San Francisco's.
it's starting.
You might win that one.
Yeah.
I don't know,
Starting to
man.
look that way.
Debo's
Debo's balling right now.
balling right now.
Again, which you guys would not let me say last week, and you were hearing no part of it. The best receiver, I will agree with you, is Debo. That does not make a best receiving core.
Well, obviously.
Well, you take Kittle and you take Ayuk over
And Debo and
over Goddard and Rager. Because we'll kind of give.
Smith. You gotta throw Smith in.
Well,
No,
let's
I-
say Smith and Debo.
I would
could be the
take
same.
Goddard and Smith over Kittle and
Debo?
and no, not Debo. Kittle and Ayuk.
Well,
Ayuk's trash. I'm so angry I played him. But anyways,
You're more angry that you drafted him.
that's true too. Yeah.
I drafted him high on my dynasty team.
Good one, man.
Not getting good returns on investment.
He's taking
on that.
those. He's taking those notes from the Raiders.
Let's talk about another guy you keep calling a bust, and I said we just hold up a little bit. He hasn't been anywhere close to a bust
Oh
yet.
God! Here we
I'm
go.
not saying he has broken out yet, but I'm saying the Raiders are legit, first of all. And Henry Ruggs and Brian
I don't know. I
Edwards
feel like we have
might
this-
be looking real dangerous.
I feel like we have this conversation about the Raiders like the first 4 games of the season.
We
And
do, and we've talked about it, but
I mean, at least Ruggs
I'm
is-
liking what I
At,
see from
at
the
the
Raiders.
moment, what I tell Raiders fans right now, hey, you're 2-0.
Yeah.
You're at the top of the AFC. Enjoy it.
Right.
History shows that second half of the seasons, you're not been very good.
Yeah.
So enjoy it while you have it. We'll see what unfolds. But they've looked good like this before
Yeah. Absolutely.
under Gruden.
And
That being said, play Waller every week.
I think they could have actually quite a few weapons on offense here before the halfway point of the season said and
I
done.
mean, Jacobs,
I think-
Jacobs has got to stay healthy.
I think if he's healthy, they have a two-headed monster
if
with
Ruggs
him and
doesn't have a
Drake.
65-yard touchdown last week, his line's not that good.
But you could say that about a lot of wide receivers every week.
You
You don't say that about the great wide receivers.
Ones.
You don't look at Devontae Adams and go, if he doesn't have that 55-yarder, he only has 55 yards.
I mean, he still had 8 catches for
55 yards.
No, 70 something.
Yeah.
No,
'Cause
he
had over
ended with
100.
like 107.
He had like 102, he had like 129.
Yeah, he had like 129.
All right, you still don't say if he had that 55-yarder, he only had 79. Like,
No,
you're not
'cause
doing that
he's-
to Devontae
he's-
Adams.
No, because
Horribly
he had,
consistent.
16 points.
Yeah.
Right, but this is only Ruggs' second year in the league. Devontae, his first year in the league, he was not considered good.
He was not
His
great.
second year in the league,
I
he
agree
started
with
coming
you there.
around. So all I said was Ruggs didn't show me bust yet, but he does have to live up to more potential. I feel like week 1 was a good game, not a great game. I feel like week 2 was a great game.
I see a team that makes him do things that he's not good at doing.
If he just runs
They're
down
not
the
using
field,
him in
chuck
the
it.
right ways. If you literally insert him as like Tyreek Hill 2.0 in the KC offense, he's amazing.
I think they're starting to do
Without a
that
doubt.
more. I think you're starting to see that. We'll see. I think you guys labeled him a bust way too early, and that Raiders offense is starting to look good.
A bust for the 11th pick overall in the draft. Yes.
I still think that's too early.
Well,
I do.
But and here's always been the problem though is if you don't have good protection, you can't throw the ball deep. And so it's like if
For
you look
sure.
at last season when their line started getting busted up, you really couldn't expect those types of plays with Ruggs. So we'll see. I don't know. I'll say prove it. You know what I mean?
Let's be honest. Ruggs is always going to be compared to Jefferson and Judy, right?
And Lamb.
And Lamb.
And Lamb, yes.
And
Lamb.
Claypool.
I think Claypool was never really
Claypool
talked
had
about
11
as one of those,
touchdowns.
right?
I
But
mean,
he was
he's
never
up
talked
there.
about as one of those top dudes to be
And
picked.
Ayuk. Ayuk's in that mix too.
He was never talked about as one of those top picks either. That's why I'm talking about those guys, though.
He won the first round.
No, Ayuk was second, so was Claypool.
I don't know.
Either way, they weren't considered to be a first-round, top 10 possible talent, right? So if he has basically similar careers to those guys, would you call him a bust?
Well, I don't know, man. That's so circumstantial because if you sit there, like he's never going to have the numbers that like Lamb and Jefferson are going to have.
Are you sure about that, though?
I'm pretty sure.
What if he does become
would say
Tyreek
he's-
2.0?
I would say he's closer to Jefferson just because of his quarterback play than he will be to Lamb.
Yeah.
I mean, Lamb does have Dak, who's a top 5 QB, which is...
But
But,
you see-
Derek Carr's playing top 5 right now.
But here-
and
but-
he's only, 32?
Here's the difference, though, that I think you're really kind of like filling off. How does Ruggs compare when it comes to route running to Jefferson and Lamb? Right? It is absolutely
It's
night
raw.
and day.
And just so you know, Brandon
Night and
Ayuk
day.
was drafted 25th, which is the first round.
He
Just
was
so you know.
25th?
25th.
Damn, I thought he was 35th. I thought he was second round for sure.
I'm pretty sure
Okay.
they wanted Jefferson to fall to him.
Well, that's a bust. Ayuk is a bust, and you can call that now.
Couple of these.
I don't know, man. He played great last year.
He did not.
He had a much better year than
He played
Ruggs did.
okay, and he was hurt most of the time.
He's getting
I still
hurt
think
already
he scored
this
7 touchdowns
season,
last
too.
year. How many touchdowns did Ayuk have last year?
But anyway, so that's my point, right?
I wanna say it was
It's it
7.
where he got drafted, where you actually compare like genuine full blown talent, like to Jefferson and Lamb when it comes to route running, deep threat possession.
I mean, Lamb's not considered a great route runner. He is better than Ruggs right now,
had
but he's not
5.
considered a great route runner. His greatness is after the catch.
he's a pretty good
Ruggs
route
still
runner,
has 2
though.
more.
Judy was the one who was considered the route runner.
Yeah.
But you can learn that. Like, you can be taught that.
Yeah, that's
you can
when
grow into it.
That's when you should learn is right when you get drafted in the NFL.
Ruggs wasn't, I mean,
There are a lot of guys that do
Tyreek
have to
Hill
get-
was considered a
have
poor
to
route
learn
runner
a
when he
little
first
bit
came
more.
into the NFL.
Well, I mean,
And then by his third year, he was considered a good route runner. Now he's considered a great route runner, and look what he's doing.
That's just because Patrick can just throw the ball and he goes and gets it.
You still have to get yourself open to do. Speed doesn't just. The Raiders have proven time and time again.
It's-
Speed does not just get you open.
It's just not speed with him, though. It's quickness as well.
I get it, but the quickness is the route running, the cuts that he makes to get open, and then he takes his speed to stay open. So the speed itself doesn't allow you to be open. Like, just being quick off the line doesn't get you open. You know what I mean? Like, Darius Hayward Bay, dudes of that ilk do not just
Fast.
get
He wasn't
open.
quick.
Well,
Potato.
I see your point, but I just want to see a few more games him actually do that before I give him any credit. Right now, I'm not interested in.
I'm not trying to get
the
credit. I'm
thing
just
about-
saying maybe you guys should be taking away the bust term.
The thing he has going for him is he has
So
no other wide
Ruggs
receivers
had
on the team.
452 and 2 touchdowns last season, and Ayuk had 758 and 5 touchdowns last season. I'd say one was better than the other.
Almost twice as good. Yeah. Well, why throw it to Ruggs when you have Waller?
I mean, why throw it to anybody when you have one?
That's true. And I forgot to send a thank you letter to Edwards for winning me that cash.
That was nice.
That came in clutch. Thanks, Edwards.
Now we just got to grow that money, that bankroll.
I already pulled most of that.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I won like $450 that day. So
I think if you're looking for fantasy, AFC West wide receivers are money right now.
yeah, it's true. I don't know. It's going to be an interesting season though too, because I don't know. It's like one team is absolute garbage.
Raiders, Broncos, top 2 teams in the AFC.
Right. Yeah.
This week. And probably next week, too.
Next week. They'll both be 3-0 next week.
I don't think those are fool's gold 3-0s though, like Pittsburgh was. I think those are 2 legit teams.
Oh, everybody.
Well, I
knew
think the Broncos
Pittsburgh
are
was-
overall are a better team than the Raiders. So if anyone's playing full go,
Roster-wise, they are. I don't know about coaching.
You're talking about names on paper. I don't think that's been proven out on the field to be true. Raiders have looked good these first 2 weeks.
yeah, but
good.
What defense have the Raiders played yet? I guess the Steelers.
But the major players on the Steelers were hurt besides like Minka.
Who have the Broncos played?
They played who was in front of them. They're both again. They've
This guy over here.
I like his
just-
man.
Hey,
God,
but if
really?
the Broncos beat the team and there was no doubt, the Raiders had to come from behind. They were losing in both.
The Raiders played 2 better opponents than the Broncos have played.
and they were behind. They had to come back to win. They're still good teams. I think the Broncos have a better overall roster. I didn't say they have a better overall coach, but they have a better overall roster right
Well,
now.
they definitely don't have a better coach. That's not even close. Roster-wise, I still think people are underrating what the Raiders have.
And right now, the Broncos literally have one of the most injured teams in the league right now. They've got a lot of their guys on IR right now, starters on IR. They're still 2-0. There's something to be said for that.
Yeah, that's why it's good to have depth, right?
That's right.
And Teddy.
Thankfully, that most of them aren't season-ending except for one. Their middle linebacker he's out for the year.
Josie Jewell, right?
Yeah.
Tore his
How long is Chubb out then? Because he's getting
6 to
surgery,
8.
isn't he?
He had surgery.
Oh, he had
Successful.
surgery.
successful surgery. Yeah.
6 to 8.
Bust.
A lot of injuries.
You
this
get a
year.
Pro Bowler, you're not a. it's
That
not
dude's a
it's not
bust. Where was he taken?
5.
How many games has he missed since he's been drafted?
Too many.
Bust.
Well, anything else?
I think I'm good right now, fellas. It's always fun. Cheers to you fellas as always. It's fun being here. With that,
I can show you where my heart's at, see it on my sleeve. Even if the beat stops, my soul will not leave. If I never stood tall, nobody will ever see. I can show you where my heart's at, see it on my sleeve. I can show you where my heart's at, see it on my sleeve. Even if the beat stops, my soul will not leave. If I never stood tall, nobody will ever see. I can show you where my heart's at, see it on my sleeve. I can show you where my heart's at, see it on my sleeve. Even if the beat stops, my soul will not leave. If I never stood tall, nobody will ever see. I can show you where my heart's at.